to come out of lunch with a great big virtual hug. And as many of you know, Carol is an expert in this field, and we'll be talking at length about it. So Carol trained for the first time in August of 2014. This is sort of a repeating pattern here today with our speakers all August 2014 in Chicago. She's also completed the Matrix training, I think a couple of times actually, right? And we worked one together in Chicago. In addition to being known throughout our community as a hugging expert, she's also known as a master of leveraging social media, and in her own words, found a way to sort of manifest in a platform of 1 million people before she even had a clue. And on our most important personal, one of her most important personal mottos is to just do the work and keep doing it without managing the details of exactly what's going to happen. And she'll talk to you more about that at length. She knows as well as anyone the big you will figure out all the details for you. She'll talk to you today about knowing your why, knowing your values, understanding your platform, and today she wants to remind everyone that what you are dreaming is entirely possible. Carol is a positivity trainer by nature. She is a peace activator and the famous global hugger. As an IPU trailblazer, she continues to share infinite possibilities through coaching, speaking, and social media. Carol met Mike Dooley for the first time in the fall of 2009, and her life, already very good at that point, grew infinitely better. So here to teach you and share with you and deliver a presentation titled How to Leverage Social Media and Share Your Message. Please help me welcome to the stage, Carol Miller.
Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And it's going to be interesting because, of course, if you've heard, I have 1.5 million followers on Facebook, now 1.6. But honestly, the majority of those followers I got just by following my passion and purpose. Since then, and what I'm going to share with you on how to grow your own presence, I have learned a lot of the do's and don'ts along the way, mostly by doing the don'ts and doing the do's. So we're going to talk about that. But I do want to share my story with you first. And as Jim mentioned, I started Positive Focus in 2009. I actually had been on Facebook in 2008. And then I started Positive Focus Facebook presence in May of 2009. And then in the fall of 2009, I went on a cruise with the Dooleys to the Mediterranean. It was life-changing for a couple of reasons. One, I'm in the Mediterranean with the Dooleys, so you can't get a lot better than that. And then it was the Matrix. He had really started doing that program. I was very nervous talking about Positive Focus because my intention was to spread global positivity. And how could little Carol Miller do that? So when people would first ask me, I would kind of shy away from even talking about it. And so Mike asked during the Matrix, he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, Positive Focus. And there's something else. I'm a very literal person. Like, I get tunnel vision focused. I'm a how do you do it kind of person, when's it going to happen kind of person. So I'm always reminding myself that the universe is doing the heavy hitting and I just need to keep following my path. And so I told him a little bit about Positive Focus. He's like, well, why do you want to do Positive Focus? I'm like, well, I want to inspire millions of people to live their best life while I live mine. And keep in mind that millions of people is key to what I'm going to discuss today. So he said, well, focus on that was his recommendation. Rather than focusing on Positive Focus, go back to the general of why you want to do what you want to do. And because of that, I've been able to, I started doing social media for other like-minded people who are already doing this work. I do social media for Iyanla Van Zandt. I do it for Neil Donald Walsh. I do it for James Van Praagh. So I've been able to keep my why of inspiring others, working with people who are inspiring others, while I grew my own confidence inspiring people through the work I do. So that was one of the things he really taught me to do. So from 2009 until 2014, you would have thought things weren't really moving that much. For some reason, I came up with the number 15,000. I had to have 15,000 likes on Facebook. Have to have 15,000. It's got to be 15,000. That's when I've made it 15,000. Nobody told me 15,000 is a good number to have on Facebook. I just decided on that number, so I kept focusing on it and focusing on it. I was getting tunnel vision again and not letting the universe do its job by just focusing on I had to create 15,000. So in October of 2014, I hit 15,000. You would have thought it was the 4th of July, Christmas, and my birthday, every holiday together happened that day because I hit 15,000. And that was, again, October 2014. September 2015, not quite a full year, I hit 1 million people.
Wow.
So between 2009 and 2014, I'm struggling with, I've got to make 15,000, I've got to make 15,000, come on, 15,000. And then when I let it go, because I made that mark, but I stopped focusing on that and got back to focusing on what I want to do, inspiring people. After October of 2014, between December and May of 2015, I was getting 100,000 likes a week. I was doing nothing different than I had done before. Like some of the things I'm going to teach you about how often you should post and what you should post. I did not know that. I don't even know, I should look back and see did I post once or twice a week back then? I suspect because I'm a social person and I like the connection of social media that I probably did post daily, but I did not know anything. Matter of fact, I'm going to share some posts that I did that were completely inappropriate because I did not know better. And so, you know, as we all know, we learn from those hiccups in life and tend to create better from them. So it wasn't something I was doing, well, other than I was allowing and I was letting go and letting the big U, as I call it, Jim knows I call it the big U. I usually quote Mike's Notes from the Universe on my page, and I always say, thanks, big U. And so it wasn't anything I was intentionally doing at that point. Now, from 15,000, I started learning more about social media, and I was certainly doing the work for other people. And I had confidence in their work, so it was easy for me to promote their work and share their work, because I knew that they knew what they were doing. But once I hit the 1 million people, and this is also going to be a reason when I talk about your why and your values, it's going to be important. Once I hit 1 million people, people came out of the woodwork asking for me to post on my page their event, their social cause, or whatever. And because I know my why, I know that I'm able to make the best decisions for me. So I'm curious right now, how many of you have a social media presence of any sort? Who's all on social media? Excellent, okay. How many of you have an Instagram account? Okay. How about LinkedIn? Nice. Twitter? Okay, and Facebook? Excellent. And those who are on Facebook, do you have a business page as well, or just your own personal page? Okay, great. And I'm going to explain later on the importance of having a business page besides just having your personal page, because there's things you can't do on your personal page that you can do on your business page. So social media, it can be your friend or it can be your foe. You hear people always talking about that they just wasted 2 hours in Facebook. Well, Facebook has allowed me to reach an audience around the world, so I don't consider it a waste. And it is really a good leveraging tool that you can spend a lot of money advertising. Facebook is a business. They do want you to advertise. But I did not spend a dime to get to my 1 million. I think I've done a couple of advertisements since then, but I have not done any advertising on Facebook to get my name out there. So what I'm going to leave you with today is I suspect because you're IPPs, you probably know the why of what you do, but it really is important. So we're going to do an exercise on focusing on your why and why it's important for you to know your why. Then we're going to talk about your values and what you value as a person and what you value in the business that you do, and how knowing your values are going to allow you to make good judgments on your page as well. And then I say here to have a better understanding of Facebook, because that's certainly what I'm going to focus on mostly, but I am going to share a couple of the other ones as well. We'll talk about Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. There's over 60 different social media outlets right now. They come and go all the time. Do you guys remember Vine? It's gone. I mean, it was really very big and popular for about a year, and it's gone. So it really, when you think about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, they're the ones that have been sustainable and stayed with us. And then at the end, I'm going to have a surprise for you that I'll share. So, your why. And I just mentioned to you my why is to inspire millions of people to live their best life. Well, from there, I created my mission statement for Positive Focus is to cultivate positive conversations to let people focus on love over fear, abundance over lack, conflict over peace, and health over illness. And I think it's so easy for us And it's helped me know what I can and won't post on my page, because a lot of people like to post from fear and try to bring you into love, but they come from a fear-based place. So by my knowing my why has made it easier for me to decide what I will share and what I will not share on my Positive Focus page. So now I'm going to ask you guys to just think about your why. I'm going to have Angie play a song, and just think about what your why is and what you're here to do. Is it to inspire people? Are you here to educate people? Maybe you're here to motivate. You can sell cool things on social media. There's people who make money just on their Facebook pages without doing other things. Or this is something of the above. So Angie, if you'll play that song and just take a few moments to write down your why. The song is called Amazing Things.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't have to know right now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes
If
and
you have your whys, I would like it if you would get together with another person and share your whys with someone else. So, but I would like to hear whether you share your own why or if you share your partner's why. I would love to hear a few examples from the audience on what inspires them to do what they do and to show up in this world. Yes?
To help people be seen and heard.
Oh, I love that, to help people be seen and heard. Anyone else?
Me?
Yes.
So my mission is to balance body, mind, and business, and my purpose, or my why, is to inspire, motivate, and educate.
I love that. Thank you. Yes, Molly?
I just want to inspire people to love themselves right now. It doesn't matter what right now is, but right now,
That's
no
powerful.
matter what size.
Yeah, not waiting for the education or waiting for a birthday or weight release or whatever. Yes, to love yourself now. Yes.
So I've been inspiring for a while, but what came to me was prosperity in my spirituality.
Okay, nice. I like
Which
that.
is using all of the above.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how to get there, but it just came.
You don't need to know how to get there. That's not your job.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
I think the Buddhists say it most kindly. They say, most people are asleep. I get a lot of fulfillment out of waking people up.
I like that. Are you the one who set the fire alarm off the first night? Now we know. Yeah. Thank you for the awakening the other night at 3 a.m. That's quite appreciated. Yes.
To inspire people to live from their soul purpose, uniquely creative, loving lives.
Oh, I love that. Well, great. Thank you so much for sharing. And are you guys familiar with Simon Sinek? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, he's my boyfriend, but if you asked him, he'd probably say I'm his stalker. But let's just not tell him that.
It's all perspective.
It's perspective, exactly. One of these days I'm going to come face to face with him and I'm going to have to, keep that restraining order in check. But he is a leadership trainer, and he has a TED Talk from several years ago that I really love, and it's about your why, and that people buy your why, they don't buy the how you do it. And one of his big examples is that in Apple is a computer company, yet because we have bought their why and we love their why, we buy all sorts of products from them. Other computer companies have tried to do that, but it has not worked because they did not buy into their why. So I'll share the YouTube link later. It's not part of the presentation, but he is my boyfriend, so keep your hands off of him. So you can't see it because I did not realize that white text would not be good for this, but this is about your values. And I have on my website my values, and these are just some of them. To be positive, and really for me, my biggest value is to emulate what I want out in the world. So I focus on being positive myself. I focus on being kind. One of the things that has been new this last year is I'm focusing on working with kind-hearted people. Because I have worked with many people in this industry who have great messages. And they're not bad people, but they come from a fear-based thinking. So I have severed my relationships from some of the social media people I work with because of the fact that they're coming from fear and not from love. So that's one of my biggest values. I now ask people when I start working with them, either as a coach or if I'm working with them as a business, what are your values? Do you have your value statement on your website? Because when you know your values, you're able to make decisions clear from them. It sounds like you guys understand this, but so many people don't understand the difference between focusing on health rather than illness. I mean, how many times do you hear fight cancer? Fight this, fight that. And so people come to me with great organization. I'm like, I believe in releasing cancer and being healthy, but the way they come about it is not my value system. So I don't share their information. I love that they go about it the way that they need to, and they have an audience who needs to hear it that way. But my way is to come through kindness and compassion and love. Woo! And hugs. I could talk all day about hugs, but I won't. So now I'd like you to take a couple minutes, and I don't have a song for you, but just to think about what your values are. What do you find you hold for your personal value, and what do you hold for your business value? And for me, one of them is to be the same person, whether I'm in my personal life or my professional life, that I show up as me. So just take a couple minutes and write those down. And when you have a few, if you could just even think of 3, again, I would like to have you get with someone and share your values with another person. You can triple up too, don't worry about it. Just share something. Yay, another Again, I would like you to share either your own values or share what your partner shared with you, just a few of those. Who would like to share?
I want to share Laura's because it's awesome. She said there are 3 very profound statements, and then she said, oh, and by the way, also, turn off any pharmaceutical commercial anytime it comes on TV.
Although pharmaceuticals have their place in the world too, just not quite the extension that they do have currently, but they are as well needed. Anyone else have some of their values that they'd like to share? Yes?
Mine are that must create connection,
Okay.
must be heart-centered, and must be of great value.
Nice. Anyone else?
I'll just share with mine. Mine is to very simplistically make it easy to take it easy. Now, with that just means I'm going to enjoy my life. Every step and everything that I do, it's about being happy, it's about being who you are, and it's about really sucking up the deliciousness of who you are as a human being. And so with everything that I do, it's that expression of being who I am in this moment. So that's the value. Again, it's to enjoy my life and to help people remember how to feel better. And it's to, again, make music is a
That shocks me about you, Pacho.
Who'd have thunk it?
I think we're done for the day. Christiana?
Speak the truth in love.
Yes. That's a great one. And it's easy to say that. It can be challenging to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
we all have the same, we decided to roll the company, which was to be authentic, heart-centered, compassionate, and kind.
I love those. Those are great
Stop
ones.
cheating.
What's that?
I said stop cheating.
But again, knowing your values allows you to really center yourself in what you're doing. And I suspect all of you, I know I have been in a situation with Positive Focus, even though I love doing it, there are days that it's too much. I'm like, I'm done, I'm ready to quit. But I go back to the why I do what I do and my values behind it, and it re-energizes me to keep on going. So you knowing your why and knowing your values, really use those to move forward and to help you through your celebrations as well as helping you through your sorrows. So these are the social medias that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to really focus on Facebook because that's my baby that has brought me with a global audience. And there's Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I'm just going to barely touch on Google Plus and YouTube because there is an element that it's good for you to have a presence, at least on Google Plus. If you do videos, of course, you want to have your videos on YouTube as well. But there's a good reason that you're going to want to be on Google Plus. I'll leave Facebook for the end. I want to show you that one again. So when would you think that social media started? What year would you guess? And if you saw the slide, pretend you didn't see the slide.
96.
96? How about anybody else?
91.
MySpace.
It was in 1997 by a social media presence called 6 Degrees. I'd never heard of it. I really started knowing about social media with MySpace in 2003. LinkedIn started in 2002, but it became bigger in the late 2000s. Facebook was 2004, YouTube 2005, Twitter 06, and Instagram 2010. Now, MySpace is actually still out there. It has a very small market. When Facebook came on, they took over the MySpace crowd in 2008 and pretty much depleted it. But it is still in existence today. So if you're a Twitter fan and that's one of your main things to use, then you might want to know the audience age and where they're located at to decide if that's the venue you want to be in. Now, a social media expert's going to tell you to be in every single one of them. Like you should have your presence everywhere. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time to have my presence everywhere. And there's many companies now that actually have a social media department, full-time department, that is what they do. So they can have a presence everywhere. So I'm just encouraging you, I'm going to encourage you to be on Facebook, but you really, the best way for you to use social media for your highest good is to feel if it feels right for you. Like Facebook is what works for me, but if any of these other ones are what makes you happy, then that's the one you should be on. So Twitter has 317 million active users a month, 500 million tweets a day, and the age range, 37%, is between 18 and 39. And all of the social medias I found that the outside of the US has the more profiles in them. There are 67 million users on Twitter in the US. So right there, if you're a US citizen, 67 million of your audience is possibly there.
Isn't that Trump's name? Yes. Communication.
I call him number 45, but that's, yes, that is true. That is true. On a side note, speaking about positivity, on the Christiana mentioned it in her speech that there was a big change or feeling of change with fear around on election day. I remember I woke up that morning, heard the news, was crying, got a phone call that I needed to go on a radio program to talk about how to be positive during this time of change. I'm like, wipe up the tears and go to work. So it's just what we're dealing with right now. So Instagram has 500 million active users, 4.2 billion likes a day. The majority are women, and the ages are 18 to 29. So if your audience is 18 to 29, then this is definitely going to be a good one. Every single social media has the ability to sell on. So it really is what's going to work best for you. 80% of the accounts are out in the US, and actually Facebook owns Instagram. They bought it a few years ago, but they are keeping it a separate entity. LinkedIn. Now LinkedIn primarily is more for a corporate business exchange. However, if you're a coach and wanting to get clients through that, then having a profile is beneficial. But it really still is much more of a corporate 9-to-5 type of resource for you. There's 467 million members. I do have a LinkedIn account. I don't really do anything with it. 160 million active monthly. It's the primary majority is men, and Microsoft owns LinkedIn. YouTube, I'm going to kind of talk about YouTube and Google Plus together because YouTube is owned by Google. There's 1 billion active each month, 5 billion video views a day. And again, it's a higher visibility for men than women. And the age range is between 25 and 34% is 23%. And then 35 to 44 is 26%. So Google Plus is an interesting beast. Because Google is so easy. Like, who doesn't use Google to find things? When they created Google Plus, they somehow forgot how easy they are, and they made it kind of clunky, and it's really not easy to know how to create your circles. They really planned when they started to wipe out Facebook. That was their goal. It has not happened. They have 111 million users. People do use it a little bit. It has a bigger base, because every time you open up a Gmail account, you get a Google Plus account anyway. So Google Plus has, 2.5 billion users, but the vast majority of those are inactive because people never really use their Google Plus account. What's important with Google is its SEO, search engine optimized. So just like when you think about when you go into Google and type in something to find, and it pulls it up for you, if you put your stuff on Google, because Google wants everything to live on Google, then your name is going to start being pulled up closer too. And that's the same with YouTube. They're both very SEO driven. Facebook and, all of them use hashtags. Like Twitter uses hashtags a lot, Instagram and Facebook does. But really the SEO with Google Plus is what keeps Google Plus going. Oh, this is Facebook. I needed to do a different font. There's 1.79 billion active monthly users. 1.23 billion login daily, and I gotta tell you, I don't fit that because I never log out, so I'm not quite sure where I fit in that. Like, what do you mean log out of Facebook? I don't understand. 53% women, and 22% of the population of the world is on Facebook. And when you think of how many of the population doesn't even have internet and computers and anything, but 22%, and 62% of the US is on Facebook. So right there is another good reason, if you're going to choose one, to be on Facebook. 48% of the users between 18 and 34 check it when they first wake up. Does anybody check it in the middle of the night if they wake up? Yeah, me too. I'm like, what do you mean wait till the morning? I wake up in the middle of the night, I check. 55 million status updates daily, and I am not a mathematician, but I'm pretty sure I'm responsible for 1% of that, because I do update a lot. And I think it's key for you guys to know is there's 40 million small businesses on Facebook. And when you think about the work that we're doing, 40 million other people have agreed and believe that having a Facebook presence is going to help them. So that's another good reason to be on Facebook. Now the differences, do you know the differences between your personal and your business page and a group page? I'm going to share more about the business page in a little bit, but the personal page, you can have 5,000 friends. You can have followers who can't comment and everything on it, but you can't open it up where you can have people follow you after. Like Mark Zuckerberg, he does not have a business page. He has his own Facebook, his personal page, but he just opens it up for followers. Because that way they can't really do anything except for under his posts. Business page, instead of having friends, you have likes, and it's unlimited. Like I have 1.6 million. There's many pages that have 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. So it gives you that opportunity. And what's also important in the business page, which again, I did not use this information to grow to 1 billion, I might have done it quicker had I, is it gives you a bunch of analytics on a business page that you do not get on a personal page. You can also advertise if you're going to pay Facebook, and that's going to get it up in their algorithms quicker if you're giving them money for it. But you can't do that on your personal page. The group pages, some people recommend you have both. And You can't find out the analytics of a group page. You don't have the ability to advertise on a group page, but it does allow your followers to interact with you more because they post directly to it and then have a conversation as well. What it really is helpful for, if you're having like a 6-week course and you have members, then you could have a private Facebook page just for those members, and they can talk amongst themselves. You can go in and talk to them. You can do a live Facebook video just directly into that group, and so that's very helpful as well. I'll talk about videos in a moment too. How often should you post? Now, I would love to know when I got started how often I should post, but again, it's about engagement. And when you think about our thoughts that we just keep going to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So if you're only posting every couple of days, you could say it's better than not posting at all, but the algorithms are going to kick you out, and only your friends who actually physically go to your page are going to see anything. So the recommended number, and again, we're all IPPs here, so it's how it feels more than what Facebook recommends, but the recommended number is if your page is under 100,000 to post 3 times a day.
Is this profile page or business page?
This is business page,
Okay.
yeah. 3 times a day. If it's over 100,000, to post 6 times a day. Some pages like Positive Focus, right now I'm posting about every 3 hours because you can schedule them. I'm not sitting at my computer every 3 hours and posting something. But you can post some of the pages. I'm part of a big page group, and some of them post every 30 minutes. So it's really up to you, but it's about the engagement. It's about getting people to like your page, to comment on your statuses, and to share, because that's what goes into the Facebook algorithms, is when people are sharing your information. Facebook is like, oh, this is valuable information. We're going to spit it out a little bit more that way. What should you post? So 30% your own material, whether it's a meme that you've created, whether you're sharing just how are you today and it's just text driven, or a video, you want to share 30% of your own material. You can share all of your own material, but the 60% curated is to bring other audiences into fold with you. So like you might go to Mike Dooley's page and share one of his memes on your page, and that will interact, and Facebook is all about connection. So when you're sharing his page, they're saying, oh, we like that because you're sharing it. So Mike's page is getting a little bit of the benefit of the share, and your page is getting benefit from the share. Does that make sense? Okay. 10% promotion. I know a lot of people, if you go to their pages, all it is I'm going to be speaking here next week, or just promoting their book or whatever, and not engaging. It is a social media platform. Social is the first word in it, so you want to be social. So if you're just posting 3 times a day, maybe every other day post about your book or post about the event you have coming up. You can still, in your social engagement, talk about how excited you were about something, but maybe not share the link to how to purchase something, because you really want to engage people into knowing who you are. And if your business page is not your name, which they really do recommend to use your name, have the profile picture your picture, because people want to know who is behind the page. And there's a lot of big pages out there that do not engage with their fans at all. And they have big pages because like it's Amazon. You know, everybody knows Amazon, so you go like Amazon. But they don't engage with their followers because that's not their intention. I mean, people are going to buy from Amazon without a Facebook presence. So just 10% promotion is what you want to do. Right now on Facebook, it changed about a year ago. Videos is their big thing. Within the last year, they have bought up a bunch of video companies, and their intention is to put YouTube out of business. I doubt that will happen, but they have a huge impact on videos right now. So if I post just a photograph image, a meme, and then I take that image, which I'll explain how to do in a minute, and make it a video, the photograph might get 200 likes. The video will get 1,200 views. It's the exact same picture, but because it's a video, Facebook is saying, oh, we love video right now, so they move it up in the algorithm. And then sometimes you can just do straight text and not have a picture or anything. It really is about engaging. And if they know you personally, the more that they're going to engage with you.
Who did you say is trying to put Facebook out of business?
Facebook is trying to put YouTube out of business.
Facebook, I thought Facebook bought YouTube, or is that Google?
Google owns YouTube, yeah. Everybody's trying to put Facebook out of business, but nobody's had success at that. Okay, so the main reason that this is for your business page again is that you have unlimited numbers that you can have. You can advertise in the analytics. And Christiana was talking about being geeked out and looking and researching and things, and that is not me. However, there is so much valuable information on your analytics, on your Facebook page, that you can find out when they're online, what their ages are, who's there, from what country they're there. And you can learn, like if I've done 10 meme posts, it will show me which meme was more popular than the other and engagement and everything. So there's tons of information. And so like right here, and these change weekly. So right now I can tell my audience is 64% women, and it's a really close tie, but 17% is between 25 and 34, and then 15% is 35 and 44. I know that at 11 a.m. in the morning is when most of my audience is on. So if I'm going to do a Facebook Live and I'm available at 11 a.m., that's my biggest chance to grow my biggest audience. I actually do mine at noon, but oh, I wish you could see this picture better. But because I have a global audience, mine is pretty the same, like from 1 a.m. until midnight. It's pretty much the same, but 11 a.m. If your business is a local business, you're going to see the spikes closer, like between your waking hours or something is when your audience is up. But because I've had people waking up and then coming to Facebook, that's why it changes for that. Okay, some of the do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts, I've done both. Do, be yourself. You know your why, know your values, share who you are and do what you do, because people are going to engage with you because they like what you're about. So that's one of the things I really recommend. And post directly to Facebook. So what that means is your social media experts, again, as I mentioned, they're going to tell you to be on all of the different ones. Now, if you don't have time to it, you can post to Instagram and connect to Facebook. You can post to Twitter and connect to Facebook. But whatever lives directly in Facebook, even if you're sharing your own blog, if it's coming from an outside link, it's going to be hit in the analytics. It still works. You still want to share your website because you want to draw traffic to it and you want to build your email list. But anything that does not live directly in Facebook hits their algorithms where they don't show it as much. And then the rut rows. Downloading other people's pictures. And I did this all the time when I started. When I first started, I would go to Google. I'm like, I want butterflies. I'd Google butterflies and find a pretty picture, and I'd upload it on my page. Well, anymore, if you go to Google, it almost always says copyright now. It did not used to say that. But now it shows copyright. So if you're going to do it, attribute the source from that picture. But I see it a lot, and again, I used to do this as well. Taking pictures from other Facebook pages, downloading them, and then uploading them as your own. Even if it has their logo on it, it's still stealing their material. So if it's an image you really like, you can contact that page and say, can I download it and upload it? And some will say yes, most will say no, because they want you to share it. Because if you share it from their page, both of you are getting credit for it. But if you download it and just upload it to your own page, only you are getting credit for it. Now, Facebook is getting really big into copyright on videos. I haven't noticed it as much in images, but that could become a problem too, where they're going to start dinging people for using copyrighted material that they don't belong to. Yes, ma'am?
Carol, can we go back under the do's when you say post directly to Facebook?
Yes.
What is your advice regarding like Hootsuite, Edgar, using the,
yes.
So that you don't have to go in and
absolutely
post directly to each platform? You have that.
Yes, a social media expert would tell you not to use those. Now, again, it comes down to your own personal time. So you are going to get dinged from Facebook. It's not going to show through the algorithms as much because it's coming from an external source. Okay. But it still is being shown. So if you want to have 4 different medias and show it that way, then you can still do it, but just know that you are going to be dinged. Now, Facebook and, well, Twitter does too, you just have to put your credit card in there. But you can schedule your Facebook posts. Like I try to schedule mine out 3 or 4 days in advance. Sometimes I'm not able to do that. But you still can schedule so you're not having to sit there and babysit it. But
Yeah, it's just the expedience that through Hootsuite or Edgar, it goes to Facebook and Twitter.
yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And they are very good sources to use if time is of the essence.
Right.
But just simply know you're getting dinged for using it.
Got it, thank you.
What does dinged mean?
It means that the analytics, and I am not a mathematician, there's people who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to figure out Facebook algorithms, but in their system, they know the IP address and they know the way it came into Facebook. So if I posted directly into Facebook, the algorithms is going to say, oh, this is a Facebook post, we're going to put you here. If I post from Hootsuite, the algorithms is going to say, oh, this did not come from Facebook, I'm going to give you this much reach. So it affects your reach by posting. Again, if that's a time saver, you need to do what feels right. So it's really about a preference. Did you?
Can I ask a question? Is there a disadvantage to posting the same content on multiple media platforms at the same time? So I got a new puppy, and I'm going to use that to talk about my book about my puppies. So then I post it on Twitter. Like they're all the same post. Is that bad?
No, she was just asking if you could use the same post on different sources. I do it all the time. Sometimes I'll change the copy of what I say, but the actual post is totally fine to use. It's if it, again, you could do it from Hootsuite and just have it sent out to all of them at the same time, but each one's going to get dinged a little bit. And it may not be a lot, but every single social media resource is out there to make money. So they want the information to live in their land. So it's their sandbox we're playing in, so the more we can play nice in their sandbox, the better it's going to be. I encourage you not to do hard sales on social media because we tend to, it's a social avenue, so they really want to have a social impact with that. To create a meme, what you want to put on there would be like famous quotes. Just go and search. And for everybody who can't see this, if you just email me, I will send you the PowerPoint. So that's totally fine. But use famous quotes. Just go Google famous quotes, find a pretty picture, and put them on there. Asking questions, saying, whoever's reading this today, I wish you having a good day. Those do well. I'm sure you've probably all seen this. Say yes if you agree with this. Those do well. They drive me crazy, but they really do get good engagement. You ask it, you may get 100 yeses, where the same meme without say yes might get 10 comments. So they really do help with your engagement. Some pages only do yes and no things, and that drives me crazy. But so how to make a meme? The site I use is canva.com, canva.com. A meme is a photograph, so it's just the pictures that you see with the words on them.
Is there a line drawing kind of picture, don't they?
What's that?
Anything.
It's anything.
You
Yeah.
can use your own pictures.
Yeah, you can use your own pictures too.
You know how they make funny sayings like, you know.
And honestly, when you think about it, we all love these pretty pictures of the beautiful scenes, but people really want to be able to read the words. So sometimes our pictures, and I struggle with that because I love the pretty pictures, but if you can't read the words, then it's not going to be a successful meme. So sometimes it's just a colored background and putting the words in is just as good as not.
I have a word swag. It's maybe European, I don't know, but it's nice to create quotes and stuff.
Okay, excellent. So Canva is a free site. I pay a little extra just for a few more bells and whistles, but it's a very powerful tool that you can use. Again, because you want to pay attention to copyright, I go to Pixabay for my free images. You can use their images in there without crediting them. They do have the opportunity that you can donate money to that site and then they share it amongst the photographers who upload their pictures. But they really do have a great resource of pictures. Facebook again, video. So you can actually create a video from your own Facebook page by going to Publishing Tools. Yes, sorry, business page.
Can you go back one slide, please?
Hi.
Love you, Carol.
Love you too. So publishing tools. You're going to go to create, then you're going to create a slide. And here it says 3 to 10 photos. You can upload 3 to 10 photos. You can say a timing of 1 to 5 seconds. You can pick music that Facebook has put in there. Again, they're very picky with copyright music, so they put me in Facebook jail for 3 days. And if you know me, being in Facebook jail was a nightmare. But they thought one of my videos had copyrighted music on it, so they stopped me from being able to post anything for 3 days. It was a fun 3 days. So, and then you can pick the music and then you can upload it. Again, it lives directly in Facebook, so even though the music is pretty awful, it gets more engagement because of the algorithm. So I've already told you about this and how in 2009 I started and how important the 15,000, once I let it go, from 11 months, I grew my audience from 15,000 to 1 million people. So really, again, I really encourage you to go from your heart and think about what your passion and your purpose is and your why, and work from there more. Learn from your mistakes. I posted a picture one time. You've heard that statement of money grows on trees. Well, I found a picture of money grows on trees, and I was so excited I posted it. And then several hours later, I looked back, and I had tons of ha-has, LOLs, because it was a marijuana plant. Whoops! That wasn't my intention behind that one, but, so, learn from my mistakes. Yeah. So these are a couple of quick resources that you can use. I know them both. I've worked with Angie as a project manager. If you want somebody to do your social media, she will run your platforms for you. She has different packages. Your digital formula, which, another one, see my typo there? If you want engagement on your images, have a typo in it because the grammar Nazis are out in full force, and you will have 100 comments right away. So I really intentionally put that there. It was not a typo. But your digital formula is a man, Stephen Aitchison. He has a page of 3.5 million, but he will teach you how to use the analytics better. And he has a $29 a month training program, and then I bought the big program just this last year. So he is a heart-centered person. So he is somebody that I recommend as well. So in closing,
I can see his name.
Yeah.
it's your digital formula is the name of this company.
Oh.
Yeah.
Without spell like that.
Formula, not formula. The word formula. So just like law of attraction, law of attraction is neutral. Whatever you focus on is going to grow. So Facebook can be your friend or it can be your foe. And I hope that you walk away knowing a little bit more about your why and how that's going to help serve you in making the decisions for your personal life, for your business life, and certainly for your social media. And to know the value statements and what is valuable to you to move forward. And then the last one is the surprise. And to get you guys started, if you've not created your own memes before, you email me, carol@carolccmiller.com, and I will send you 10 memes that you can put your own logo on. So this is one of them from Mike Dooley. Most of the time you don't know how close a dream is until it's coming true, until after it has, Mike Dooley. So you've had the option of staying in the big room, you have the option of not even coming today, you have the option of being outside, and I just honor you and thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you.
Sure, we can go one slide back. And we are going to refrain from any additional questions now, but I really feel that Carol did such a great job of incorporating the questions during her presentation that many of them are answered, and if they're not, I know she's available to you right after this session to speak one-on-one.